And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting edition of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. I'm Rick, of course, and tonight we're going to try a Zinfandel. This is an OZV Zinfandel. It's an Old Vine Zinfandel from Lodi, California. This is from the Oak Ridge Winery, and their Old Vines what's the word I'm looking for? Series. I lost my train of thought there. Anyway, I'm glad you're joining me tonight. We're going to open up this wine, and there's a reason why we're specifically opening up a Zinfandel. And if anyone in the chat knows exactly why we're opening a Zin tonight, put it in there, post it, and I'll tell you what, I'll send you a two-way radio show T-shirt because that's what I have right in front of me. So I'll send you one of those. We also have some food to pair it with. We have some birthdays to toast. We have some national days. We have, and that was a hint, by the way. And we've got some Thanksgiving stuff to talk about. We're going to have all kinds of fun tonight, and I'm glad you're joining me tonight. If you're just joining me, of course, you can catch the live stream live at Facebook, on the Facebook page, Drink with Rick, and you can also watch at drinkwithrick.com. Now, we don't have the chat going there, so if you want to chat with us, you can watch on drinkwithrick.com, but if you want to chat with us right now, you can do it through Facebook, the Facebook page, do it on YouTube. We're up on YouTube. We are on Twitch. You can chat with us on Twitch, and I'll be checking that as well. We're up on Periscope, and you can tweet me on Twitter because we're up on Twitter at Drink with Rick. Of course, the YouTube channel is Drink with Rick, just to let you know. You can, if you need to contact me, you can contact me at rick@savoymedia.com. That's rick@savoymedia.com. Send in your recommendations for wines and anything else you want to say. If you want to interested in donating to the cause in some way, maybe you want to send a bottle of wine or something else, feel free to do that. That's fine. I won't complain. I'll open it up and I'll give it a fair review. Honestly, a fair review. So before we get started tonight, I wanted to acknowledge everyone in the chat who's joining me tonight. Lon is in the chat. It's great to see you, Lon. Thanks for joining me tonight. Stick around and tell me what you're drinking and how your week's been going. Penny's in the chat, my sister Penny, and it's great to see you too. I'm really glad to see you. Hopefully Tom is with you as well. If not, that's okay. But hey, the more the merrier. So hi to Tom and Penny, if Tom's watching us, and Ben too, if he happens to still be up. Todd has joined us in the chat. It's great to see you, Todd, as well. And I'm glad you're here. It's been a while since I've talked to you, but I'm glad you're here, and stick around and chat with me and tell me how you're doing. And Phil, it's always good to see my friend Phil in the chat. And Phil, we're going to talk about some stuff tonight. I'm glad you're here, and stick around. We're going to have some fun. Let's see who's in the chat on YouTube. We have Valley Hounds. It's great to see you here with his Valley Hounds. Valley Hound says, "Hey Rick, good looking sweater." Thanks. I'd like to say I made it myself, but I didn't. And he says, "Happy birthday, Courtney, 38." Now, come on, you're messing with me, right? Because it wasn't Courtney's birthday. Okay. Well, we'll toast her anyway, just because we can. If I've got that wrong, happy birthday, Courtney. But I think you're messing with me. But because how many times have I toasted Courtney and Molly and Trish for birthdays? It's getting to be a running gag here, but that's okay. I like to toast, so it's good. Even if it's not really a birthday, it's still an unbirthday, right? As I say in the Alice in Wonderland stories, happy unbirthday. Let's see. Anything going on did I check Twitch? I think I did. No, that was Periscope. Twitch, nothing going on in Twitch at the moment. But let's head on back over, and we're going to open up this wine in just a moment. Once again, let me introduce you to this wine, and we'll talk about it a little bit before we get into opening and having a lot of fun with it. This is the wine that we're going to open tonight. This is an OZV. It's an Old Vine Zinfandel from Lodi, California. This is a 2017, and this is from the Oak Ridge Winery, and from their Lodi line. And this they do make some cabs, and like I said, you might know them more from maybe some of their other wines, like the Lodi Estates. Lodi Estates is fairly well known in some circles. You might recognize that label, but it's the same Oak Ridge Winery. That's the same winery. They do a lot of different wines. And let's take a look at the back of this wine, if I can find out where I put it. There it is. And I'm having to do this manually a little bit tonight, but there it is. I'm going to read this. Old Vine Zinfandel, Lodi, 5 generations of grape growing heritage enables us to craft this delicious expression of Lodi's unique terroir. Jammy with milk chocolate, boysenberry, and mocha flavors, and a supple mouth feel. Enjoy. From OldZinVines.com. And you can also check out this and all their other wines at OldZinVines.com, by the way. And I'm going to tell you what I paid for this in just a minute because it's kind of cool too. But I checked this up. I checked this out on online to see if I could find out more about what's in this wine, because a lot of times they'll blend in other things. It won't be a pure Cab or pure Zin or something like that. I know that a couple of places had alluded to the possibility that there was some Zin and maybe a Syrah blend to it. I'm not sure that I believe that, because apparently it doesn't mention that. I pulled up the specs on this, the product specifications on their website. And apparently it's Zinfandel. It just says Zinfandel. It is, and I don't think this is on the label, is it? Yeah, well, it has to be. It's, this is an interesting thing about the label. Let me pull that up one more time. The label says, I don't know if you can see at the bottom, but the label says alcohol 14.2% by volume in a 750 milliliter bottle. However, according to their specs on their own site, it is 13.8%. So I don't know which one of these is right. I mean, this is their label, apparently, that they printed, and their specs from their website. It is the same bottle of wine, at least. Well, it's the same vintage of wine. So there's a little discrepancy there. Probably not. Well, it's a little bit, like a 0.5%. It might make a difference if I get too far down in this bottle, right? But I'm not planning on that tonight. Let's see here. We have, let's see if we have any other information on. Nothing here, but I do have some information on that I pulled up online. This is, according to Wine Store, of course, I picked mine up from winestore-online.com, which has some great prices. But I was looking this up a little bit now on their website, and I'm up on their website right now. This is their what is it? OldZinVines.com. And this goes for $13. They have it listed for $13 a bottle. I checked around online and I found it, let's see, the Vino has it for $15.99 a bottle. And let's see who else. This was wine.com. They're not actually selling the wine, but they have it listed. For some reason, I can't. Let's see if I can see it. They have their chat screen that just pops up and just stays there, and you can't get rid of it for some reason until you talk to them or buy something from them, apparently. I'm pretty sure, I can't see it now, but it looked like it was, I think it was around the same price, $13, $14, something like that. I'm just going to go ahead and ditch this because it's that you can't seem to get rid of this thing, and it's annoying. Anyway, let's see what else we have here. Okay, well, I got another $10.99 is what I see here, and this is a Total Wine. This is the site that I have up here right now is Total Wine, $10.99. And what I paid for it, and I have the receipt right here. Let me get back over to the let's see here. The receipt that I have, and my hands here, lists it at, where is it here? Yeah, the Zinfandel, $9.85. Now, when I walked into the store, I thought I heard them say $9.95, and when I looked at the receipt, it was $9.85. And let's see, going back to the website, it is listed for $9.85 a bottle, which sounds like a pretty good deal. Sounds like a pretty good deal, but we'll know for sure once we open up this bottle and try it out. We'll know more about that for sure. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll see what this wine is all about. Now, let's say milk chocolate. I'm not sure. Well, we'll see. See if it has any taste like that. It's supposed to go good from checking out. It's supposed to go good with burgers and things like that. But I have some food to pair with it, and we'll try it out and see if it works. Of course, tonight, since this is not a screw cap, the first non-screw cap bottle that we've opened up in, 3-4 weeks, I do get to use my mechanical corkscrew tonight. And if you've never seen this in action, it's kind of cool. Although it is a little awkward from this position. I really should be standing up to do this. So I'm sitting, so we'll see how this works. It's a little awkward when I do that. There we go. Nice. Came right out. And getting the cork out when I'm in a sitting position is a little bit more of a challenge sometimes. I hurt myself a couple times doing this. Hopefully I won't do it. I'm going to do it down here. Okay, well, it's not coming out right now, so let me just put that aside. I don't want to hurt myself. And we're going to pour it into the Cooper's Hawk genuine crystal glass from the Cooper's Hawk Winery and Restaurant in Orlando, Florida. And, of course, I have my trusty Veneto aerator from the Veneto Wine Lovers set. And by the way, this is available for $19.95 from Amazon. If you want to get the whole set, it comes with a lot of other things too, not just the aerator. But I think you can buy the aerator on its own. You can actually find it at Amazon.com or just go to drinkwithrick.com. There's a little banner at the top where you can actually purchase it right there. And if you do, it would be much appreciated because a few cents of that goes to me and supporting this wine stream and supporting my wine habit on this wine stream. You don't have to do that, of course, but hey, if you can do that, it's much appreciated. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and pour this into the bottle. Let me pull up some, and then we'll get to the. Let's pour just a little bit in here, just to get started. I'm going to forego the swirling part. That's I know some people like to see that. Some people, it's really, well, okay, I'm doing the swirling, aren't I? After I said I wouldn't. Habit, force of habit. So we're going to take a look at this, and it is a fairly full-bodied wine, medium to full body. I don't want to say it's real heavy, full-bodied wine. It looks, from the lights, it's kind of hard to tell, of course, but it looks a little more medium-bodied to me. But maybe it's just because I don't have enough in the glass. So we'll give it a smell. Very perfumey, and a lot of Zins are. I can smell some spices in this. Let's see. Tobacco. Right away, got a little tobacco in there. Some blackberry. Kind of jammy. Blackberry. Taste it. It's kind of fruity. It's ripe fruits, very ripe fruits. I don't taste any milk chocolate, but I kind of taste it has a little hint of chocolate in it. Some plum, some plum. Definitely some dark fruits in here. I'm going to try a little bit more. And for those who like the ASMR videos, that was for you. And let's give it another taste. It tastes like a Zin, but it tastes kind of bold. It has a nice smooth finish to it, but it's also a little it's pretty spicy. Pretty spicy. So we have any other interesting. We're going to pair it with some foods in just a moment. Let me see if anyone else is in the chat with us. Tim has joined us in the chat. I'm glad to see you, Tim. I hope you're doing well. Hope your daughter's doing well. And I hope your whole family's doing well. Of course, Tim's an old friend of mine from WFL, as Phil is too. Tim and Phil worked together in the production department at WFL years and years ago. And let's see, we've got to pair with. Let me pull this out on a. Well, no, we're on a good shot here. Tonight, to pair this with, because it's supposed to go good with hamburger, according to the wine store website. So I have a little hamburger here. Well, okay, it's a big hamburger. It's just hamburger. It's just a hamburger meat. But it's supposed to go pair well with meats, red meats of any kind. So I also have here a New York steak, a New York strip steak that my lovely wife Chi made tonight. I have a couple of cheeses. Of course, I have some smoked. I believe I have some smoked cheddar here, and also that Gouda cheese, that Trader Joe's Gouda cheese that I like so much. I have a few crackers. I have some olives, and I have some asparagus, some fresh asparagus. This should go okay with asparagus. I've tried a couple of good wines with that. Actually, I think a Pinot might go better with that, but it's probably we had the Pinot last week. So we're going to try that. Let's go ahead and do a little tasting now. Lon says, "How is the wine?" It's pretty good, Lon. I'll tell you what, I'll know in a minute after I pair it with a couple of these foods, because that's really where the real taste testing is. Because it's one thing to taste a wine by itself and say, okay, I could drink this, but it's another thing to drink it when you're having dinner. A nice dinner, or if you're opening it up for a dinner party or something, and saying, how well does it go with the food? That's the key. So I'll give you the full analysis of my review here in just a few moments. But it is it's a decent wine. I'd say at the outset, Lon. I'd say at the outset, I think it's well worth the $9. I wouldn't pay like $18, $19 for it, but of course their site said $13. I think it's at $9.90. What was it? What did I pay for it? $9.85. I think that's a pretty good price for this wine. It's not a bad wine. And I like Zins. I love Zins. So I think this is a decent Zin. Let's try it with a burger first, because I think that's what it says it pairs with. Well, so we're going to try a piece of this burger. And of course the burger's a little cold now. Decent burger. I forgot where the burger came from. From a cow, yeah, I know. Okay, that was interesting. Must be the burger. Something about the burger that made it taste a little more earthy all of a sudden. Try that again. It made the burger and the wine taste a lot more earthy. Yeah. Maybe it's this burger. I don't know. Maybe it's the wine. Maybe it's the the combination of the two particular burgers and the burger and the wine pairing, but it's gave it quite an earthy taste for some reason. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that. Let's try it with the New York steak, though. And before I do that, let me say hi to Betsy. Betsy's joining us in the chat. Hi, Betsy. How you doing? Thanks for joining us in there. Stick around. Let's try this before it gets too cold. This New York strip, it wasn't too tender, but it wasn't too tough either. It was kind of in between. It was good. We had it at dinner. I'm going to save some of this for the stream tonight. Oh, that's much better. I think it goes pretty well with the New York strip. Oh, yeah. Maybe it's just that burger. There's just something about that burger that seemed a little odd, a little off. Goes good with the steak, though. Let's try it with my favorite. Which one is my favorite? The Gouda. Let's try it with the Gouda. This should go well with the cheese. Zinfandels and cheese are usually a pretty decent mix. If it's not too heavy a cheese, if it's not a smoky cheese, you want to maybe go with something else, like the Pinot we had last week. But oh yeah, I like that. I'm gonna have some more. That's a good combo. This is a Trader Joe's creamy Gouda, so it's not a smoked Gouda. It's like a creamy Gouda. I forgot how long it was aged. We can pull that up. Some other. I've got a photo of it here. Let's try it again. Yeah. We've tried this cheese with a number of different wines, and so far I have not had a bad pairing with any of the wines that I've tried with that cheese, that Trader Joe's cheese. I'm not sure if it's the wine that makes the cheese or the cheese that makes the wine, but it's a good pairing, and I like that. And Chi is in the chat. My lovely wife Chi. It's great to see you, Chi. And you must be taking a break, because when I last left her about 20 minutes ago now, she was downstairs baking pies. She was in the kitchen, as she so often loves to do, and she was baking apple pies, and they looked really good. She's making those from scratch. She was in there kneading the dough and cutting up the apples, and she's got her own spicy apple recipe in there, and I'm not going to give it all away, honey, but talking to my wife here. But she makes a really, really good apple pie. It's a recipe that she's perfected over the last 24, 25 years. So I'm sure it's going to be a great pie. The wine is actually pretty decent. Pretty decent. So where are we going? Oh, yes. It's time to toast birthdays. And before I do that, let me check. I promise I'd check on Twitter. Notifications on Twitter. Twitch, nothing going on there. Looks like people are watching Twitch. Yeah. And we have folks watching on. And Valley Hounds is over there. And yes, I'm checking back with you, Valley Hounds. Don't worry. Let's see. Valley Hounds, going back to Courtney. Valley Hound says, yes, she's 41. Somebody's messing with somebody here. She's great and loves to toast her. And she's great and love to toast her. You love to toast her. I like to toast her too. So here's to Courtney. We'll toast Courtney anyway, just because we can. Courtney's a really nice person. She's in the chat a lot. I don't see you there tonight yet, but do I? I don't know. I'm going back and forth here. Let's see. No, I don't see her. I don't see her in the Facebook chat tonight, but hey. Let's see. Precious on sale for $24.99, usually $49. Amazing. Precious. Is that what you're drinking? Is that what you're drinking tonight? Let's see. Also, I guess he's giving away what's this? Free 1-year-old bloodhound for any type of family. He's super special. Epic farts, but very cute. eats 50 pounds of dog food a week plus 30 pounds of table scraps. And how would it pair with fried carp? Oh, you're talking about the wine, not the dog. Yep, the wine. I don't know, because I don't eat a lot of fish. I do this every once in a while. I'll do have a fish and chips kind of thing, but I'm not really a big fish eater. My wife is, Chi and Tia, that they eat fish a lot. Tommy can't eat fish. He has a seafood allergy, extreme seafood allergy, so he stays away from the seafood. I don't do seafood a whole lot. Sometimes I do, not a whole lot. But I tell you what, you have to try it. Try it with I don't know, with the carp. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's a seafood pairing wine per se. So I really couldn't say, because I don't really do seafood a lot, but it goes pretty good with this New York strip steak. So Valley Hounds is saying, apparently you're giving away a dog. Is that what it is? Free 1-year-old bloodhound for any type of family. He's super special, but very cute. Eats 50 pounds of dog food a week plus 30 pounds of table scrap. It sounds like a pretty big dog. 1 year old. So that's good. Says, this is the best show ever. Thanks, Rick. Thank you. By the way, you missed last week. You missed it last week when we were talking about ASMR videos, because you were asking about that for a couple of weeks. And I went into a little bit of a discussion on how I had my first experience with that kind of a video. And that was way back in my Disney, back in the time when I used to hang around Disney a lot, and they had something going on. I'm not going to go into that. You can go back and watch the last stream, but that was my first experience with that. Let's see. Lon says, can you see how the wine pairs with pie? Well, you know what, Lon? I'd love to. I'll have to do it probably later when she has them baked, because right now she's still in the process of baking them, I believe. Chi, how are you doing on the pie? What's the status on the pie? It sounds like everybody wants a piece. Everybody wants a slice of pie. They are good apple pies. Now, I'll tell you, apple is not my favorite flavor. I used to be able to eat apples when I was younger. They're a little acidic for my stomach now. But apple pie, the way she makes her apple pie is just really, really good. Milan also says it is Courtney Snyder's birthday. So, all right, well, we'll definitely toast Courtney here. We're going to get to the birthdays now. So we'll do that in just a moment. Tia says she wants the dog. Okay, so Valley Hounds, my daughter wants the dog. I don't know if we have enough room for the dog. It depends on how big it is. But we'll have to talk. Tia says she wants the dog. My daughter wants every dog she sees. Send a photo. Let's take a look at the dog. It's a bloodhound. So from what I see. And she says done. Her pie is done. It looks like the pie is done. So maybe they can send me up a slice of it before the wine stream is over. Maybe I can get a slice and try it with the pizza. Try it with the wine. I haven't had that much yet, folks, really. Try it with the wine. We'll see how it tastes. Maybe I have had that much. I'm not down into the bottle very far, but this is, we're not really sure if it's a 13.8 or 14.2% alcohol content, so maybe it's higher than that. We'll see. And Penny, tell me how you're doing, by the way. I want to know how you're doing and how Tom's doing. Let's see. Let's go over the birthdays now. First of all, I want to toast my friend Mark Mitchell and another WOFL Channel 35 alumni. And my daughter just brought me a slice of pie. There we go. Thank you, Tia. Appreciate that. They just brought me a slice of pie, fresh out of the oven. So we're going to try a piece in just a minute. We'll try it. Folks, you're seeing this live. Baking a pie live on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. And we're going to taste it. Seriously, this was not staged. This was not planned. Okay, this is for those of you watching for the first time. This is a stream of consciousness type of show. I do have some show notes, but basically everything here is just stream of consciousness, and that's why sometimes we go off on tangents like we often do. Lon says, "Awesome." Yeah, he can hardly wait for me to try the pie. It looks good. It looks really good. I'll see if I can get another shot of this here in a minute. But let's go ahead and toast some birthdays. Really, honestly, I have not had enough of this wine yet. Maybe. So let's toast my friend Mark Mitchell's birthday. I know how old he is, but it was actually Friday. It was actually yesterday, his birthday. So Mark, here's to you. Happy birthday, wherever you are. And if you're catching it later, happy birthday. And once again, Mark and I go way back to WOFL, Channel 35, as do Phil and Tim. All three of us are WOFL alumni from the days back in the 80s to the 90s. And there were some good times, really good times. Lon says, "Awesome." Yeah, I read that. Okay. And let's see, we got another birthday here. I'm going to switch back to YouTube, so I haven't forgotten about you, Hounds. Who's yet next on the list of birthdays? Rob. My friend Rob Walsh from Libsyn. Rob, who is pretty much an icon in the podcast industry at Libsyn. He definitely knows his stuff. Rob, here's to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's an honor. It's an honor to know you as well. And let's see. And of course, Courtney. I don't want to forget Courtney. If it really is her birthday, and even if it's not, hey, let's go ahead and toast Courtney anyway, right? Here's to Courtney. Happy birthday, Courtney. I'm not sure how old you really are, but happy birthday. And Lon says, we are drinking the Escarlata, and it pairs well with the Otis Spunkmeyer cookies. I like Otis Spunkmeyer. It's been a while since I've had an Otis Spunkmeyer cookie, but I like them. And you know what? He's talking about the Escarlata, and I think I showed you an image of it last week. The Escarlata is actually sitting right over there waiting to be open. And we're going to open it during the holidays. We're going to open it I'm not sure if it's going to be for Thanksgiving or if it's going to be the holiday after that, before the end of the year. We are going to open it before the end of the year. This is kind of special, and I'm looking forward to opening that wine. But you're drinking that now, right? You're drinking the Escarlata. I had a slight tasting of it. It's a really good wine. I'm looking forward to opening that up very soon, so that everyone can find out more about this wine. We're going to learn about it because it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. The label itself is pretty neat. Let's see. I don't want to forget Facebook. Not Facebook. YouTube. Valley Hounds is over here saying, I heard Very Sad to Miss was in Boston for work. We'll go back and watch. You're talking about the last wine stream. Yeah, well, you definitely go back and watch it. Let me know what you think of it. And yes, we had a really nice discussion on what we were talking about before. Valley Hound says, Lon loves dingleberry pie. And says, my wife says the dogs is not for sale, but apparently I am. She says, my wife says the dog's not for sale. Sorry, Tia. The dog's not for sale, but apparently I am. She caught when you were trying to put the dog up for sale, huh? Yeah, that usually doesn't go over well, does it? Yeah. Oh, this is good. So Lon talking about the Escarlata, he says, yes, it is very good. Well, I'll tell you what, before we go any farther, because there's some national days, and once again, there's a reason why we opened the Zinfandel. And if nobody's guessed yet, you're missing out on a t-shirt. Anyway, we're going to try the pie. Let's try the pie. Let me get another shot of the pie here. This is, there we go. This is my wife's apple pie. And she actually made it almost like we'll try it. Let's see how, I don't want to lose it before I eat it. Oh, wow. This is good. This could turn out to be a pie review instead of a wine review. And it always tastes better when it's nice and hot. You know, it's hard to find a wine that doesn't go well with dessert. It's all the sugar, you know, sugar in the wine, sugar in the dessert. Yeah, I like this. I tell you what, though, you have to be careful because all that sugar, a sugar rush, it can give you a headache. And well, at least it can give me a headache in the morning. I have a little bit of water to help that along. I'm going to finish this pie a little bit later. Oh, that's good pie. I should finish it now, but I think I'm just going to make everyone salivate and envious of me where I'm sitting here eating pie live on the wine stream. And, you know, if I had enough pie to give everybody, I would. Maybe my wife can send along her recipe and everyone can try this out. But let's see. Let's go back to the chat for just a moment. Let's see. And Valley Hound says, "Peace out, Rick. I'm switching to bourbon. Keep it real." Well, look, just because you're switching over to bourbon doesn't mean you have to give up on the wine stream. It's a wine stream in name, but you can drink anything you want. You can drink, and thanks for joining us, by the way, Valley Hounds. If you really have to go, but if you can, stick around a little bit. Look, if you're drinking bourbon, if you're drinking scotch, if you're drinking Gatorade or water, if you're drinking tea or coffee or whatever it is that you're drinking, it's fine. It's okay. You don't have to drink wine. It helps if you're drinking wine. Trust me, it helps. But you don't have to drink wine. You can drink anything because as the show title is titled, it's Drink with Rick. Okay, it doesn't say drink wine. And there's a picture of the wine bottle and the glass, but it's not drink wine with Rick. It's drink with Rick. So you can drink anything you want. Well, anything that's not going to hurt you. Just drink responsibly. That's all, and in moderation. But have a good time. Kick back and tell me what you're drinking. So, Valley Hounds is drinking bourbon now. Lon's drinking the Escarlata. Who's drinking? Who else is drinking something? Has something to drink? Tell me what you're drinking. I'd like to know. I really would. And if it's something that I have never tried, I'd be willing to try it. So Lon says yes, the Escarlata is very good. I can hardly wait to open this up. So let's take a look at some national days. And to start off with, has anyone guessed yet why we're drinking the Zinfandel today? Anyone guess why the Zinfandel? I don't want to spoil it, but if you haven't guessed, I'll give you another minute or so to try to get this T-shirt here. And if you can tell me, the first person who can tell me why we're drinking Zinfandel tonight, I'll send them a Two-Way Radio Show T-shirt. And just let me know. And we'll give you another minute or so. Let's see. Anything else going on nothing on Twitch. People watching on Twitch. What about, let's check out Twitter. Tommy's watching me on Twitter, looks like. But I think he knows the answer too, anyway. Valley Hound says, gotta keep an eye on my wife. I think she wants to donate me to a good home. You know what? If it makes you feel any better, been there, done that. Oh, well, no, I mean she hasn't. No, but there've been times when my wife has give me the look, the evil eye, or said, "Hey, maybe I should trade you." Yeah, maybe I should trade you for a newer model. I try to keep her happy because you know the old saying: if mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy, right? Got to keep mama happy. That's the truth. So, well, Well, say hi to the wife and take good care of her. I know you do. Let's see. Nobody's guessed. Nobody guessed. Robert's in the chat. Hi, Robert. It's good to see you. And Robert says Lagavulin 16 with oysters. Wow, with oysters. Yeah, I'm not an oyster person, but is that hard to pair with? I don't generally pair wine with oysters, but that's we'll have to check that out. Well, that's good. You're having that with oysters. Chi says, an idea. Don't get any ideas, honey. Don't get any ideas, Chi. Lon says National Wine Day. You're close, Lon. You're very, very close. National Wine. It's national. That was pretty close. You know, there are actually a lot of National Wine Days. I was really surprised. There is a National Wine Day, but then there's a National. What is it? There's a National Merlot Day, which we had about a month ago. When there's a National. I think it's a National Chardonnay Day or something. It's like a bunch of national days for wine. And I did not know that until I started really looking up the national days. But I'll tell you what, for those who give up. Lon, you were close, but not completely close, not right on the money. It's because the National Wine Day, that can mean a lot of National Wine Days. Wednesday, this past Wednesday, the third Wednesday of November, is National Zinfandel Day. National Zinfandel Day. You were close, Lon, but Lon says National Wine Day is November 25th. Well, that's this coming Monday, right? I'll have to check on that. All right, I tell you what, if I check on that, then I guess I'll have to send you a T-shirt. But here's the National Zinfandel Day. That's the first of the national days we're going to toast. It was this past Wednesday. You know, and we're going to toast it with some more Zinfandel. Again, I like to toast it twice because I like Zinfandel. So here, once again, is the National Zinfandel Day. Just remember, it's not a sin to love Zin. At least as far as I know. So what other national days we have? We have National Cashew Day. I'm not a big fan of cashews. I can eat one or two, but I'm not a big fan of cashews. I don't eat a lot. And I love peanuts and things like that, but not a fan of cashews. You can toast it if you want. I think I'll skip National Cashew Day. National Eat a Cranberry Day. I can do that. I like cranberries. Nice and tart. I like a good cranberry. Okay, here's one I can get behind. Here's one I can get behind easily. Let me refill the glass for this. National Espresso Day. Who doesn't like a good espresso? National Espresso Day. Here's the National Espresso Day. That is also today. These are all today, by the way, and it's still today for another hour and 15 minutes. And the Saturday before Thanksgiving, which I believe is tonight, this Saturday, is National Adoption Day. National Adoption Day. Here's the National Adoption Day. There's a lot to be said for adopting. Now, it's not saying adopting what, whether it's a bloodhound or adopting a child or a stray cat or anything like that. But there's a lot to be said for adopting. You know, everyone needs love. I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Everyone needs to be loved and needs loved. Here's the National Adoption Day. Here's to taking care of those who don't have anyone to take care of them. That's what it comes down to. November 24th. You know, it's interesting. November 24th seems to be devoid of any days except one. I don't know who wants to toast this, though, but National Sardines Day. National Sardines Day. I'm not a big fan of sardines. Some people might like them. I'm going to skip that one. But I tell you what, November 25th, which is Monday, is National Play Day with Dad, and I think that's an important day. Every kid should have the opportunity to have some time with their dad. Dads are very, very important. Dads are very important in a child's life. And I think a National Play Day with Dad, I think that's definitely worth toasting. National Parfait Day. I like parfaits. We'll dose that too. And then there's National Blasé Day. There are some things that are blasé, but I don't. Hopefully, this wine stream is not one of them. And November 25th is National Shopping Reminder Day. Being in the internet retail industry myself, encouraging people to shop, I'll toast that. Now, here's the National Shopping Reminder Day. Don't forget to shop. I think that'll do it for the national days for now. I don't want to get too far into the bottle. Let's see what everyone else is doing here in the chat. Let's see. Carol Ann is in the chat. Carol Ann, it's great to see you in the chat. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me what you're drinking. It's good to see you. She said, Lon said National Zen Day first. National Zen, Zen or Zen? Did Lon say National Zen Day? Or did you edit? did you edit that, Lon? No, you did. Yeah, I went back up and I missed it. I must have missed it. Okay. National Zen Day. You're right, Lon. I missed it. I'm sorry. Carol Ann, thanks for that. That was a good catch. I'll tell you what. Lon, yeah, you earned a t-shirt. Definitely earned a t-shirt. Okay, my mistake. That was my mistake. I missed that in the chat. How did I do that? You did. You said National Zen Day, and you were right. My apologies. Here's to Lon. Hey, congratulations, Lon. I think you got a t-shirt once before, didn't you? But here's to you. I'm going to send you a Two-Way Radio Show t-shirt. I have one right here, as a matter of fact. I've got one right here. So I'll send one over to you. Just send me, PM me your email address so we get in touch and I can get it over to you. And Carol Ann, I tell you what, you earned something just for that, because you caught that. You caught that when I missed it. Now, see, this is why I do this show. This show isn't about me. This is about us, and it's about interacting with each other. And Carol Ann, you caught me on that. I want to say thanks for that. It was a great catch. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a pair of Drink with Rick coasters. These are nice coasters. These are not throwaway coasters. You can if you want, but you don't really want to throw them away. Come on. They're nice coasters. But I'm going to send you a pair of Drink with Rick coasters. Send me your a valid address where I can mail these to. I'll get in touch with you after the show, and then we'll get these over to you somehow. But thanks a lot, Caroline. I appreciate that. And I'm going to like that one right now because she caught me on that one. That's good. Look, if you guys catch me on something, let me know. I can take the corrections. Thanks, Caroline. I really appreciate that. Lon says, cheers, Rick. And Robert says, cheers to Lon. Caroline said I should get a t-shirt for catching. You know what? I've got one here. I've got one. It's a different one. I can send you this one if you want. I don't know what your size is, but I have this as well. It's I got a do it with frequency shirt. This is one that I actually designed along with my boss at bytwowayradios.com. We made some of these shirts up, and it's for two-way radios, but it can be if you want one of those. I've got one of those sitting here too. So maybe I can send you a T-shirt and a pair of these. How about that? I'm feeling generous tonight. And look, we're going to be giving away some things on the holiday episodes coming up. I'm going to be giving away a copy coming up. I'm going to be giving away a copy of the book that I reviewed last month, which was the Start Ugly book by my friend Chris Primitsos, which is a really inspiring book. And also, there are a few other things we're going to give away over the holidays. So stick around, come out, check in, and participate in the chat, and yeah, you'll have a chance to win. Let's see what there was something. I was going somewhere with this, and I wanted to say that speaking of the Thanksgiving coming up, Thanksgiving holidays coming up. Thanksgiving is, of course, coming up this Thursday, and there are a lot of reasons to give thanks. For one thing, and I've mentioned this last week, my friend Gordon Firemark, who comes to the chat, he watches the show, and he's doing a 30-day challenge, a gratitude challenge, and every day for 30 days, he puts up a quick live video, telling everyone something that he's grateful for that day. And I watched the one from the last one he did, and I've been watching. I've been keeping up with a lot of them, and I think it's a really cool idea. It's something that everyone should do. Remember what they're grateful for, and that's kind of what Thanksgiving is about. Originally, I'm not going to go into the whole story. I think everybody knows what Thanksgiving's supposed to be about. It's about giving thanks for giving us this great land, this great country that we live in, and for all of the blessings we have, for all of the bounty and abundance that we have. There are a lot of things that we have to give thanks for, our family, our friends. I'm thankful for all of you who watch me every week on the wine stream. I'm really thankful for you. And I'm very... this particular Thanksgiving, I'm very sensitive to that because I've noticed, we've all noticed in the last few years how commercialized the holiday after that, Christmas holidays are, and how Thanksgiving, for some, see Thanksgiving as just a precursor to Black Friday and the holiday shopping season and all that. I have my own thoughts, and I'm not going to go too deep into that right now. But my favorite holiday of the year is Thanksgiving. That's my favorite holiday of the year, Thanksgiving, because first of all, I have so much to be thankful for. And second, it's a time where people generally get together. They're not apart. They get together, and they're all celebrating life together, pretty much. They're all just getting together, having a great time with each other and each other's company. It's a time when family and friends, they have. I was talking to the folks at WineStream this past Thursday, and it was brought to my attention, Friendversary. And Friendversary, if you're not familiar with the term, apparently millennials are. I'm not a millennial. I'm a boomer. Okay, boomer. I'm a boomer. But Friendversary is basically like Thanksgiving. Friendsgiving. I'm sorry. I keep saying Friendversary. Friendsgiving is like Thanksgiving, but when you're doing it with friends, not necessarily family. If you can't necessarily get together with family and that sort of thing, you have a Friendsgiving, being thankful for your friends and being with your friends, which is cool. I think that's fine. I think that's cool. And there's so many people that really don't have family, or don't have family they can get to enjoy Thanksgiving with, and then so they get together with their friends to do Friendsgiving. And I think that's a good thing. If you can't be with your family, be with your friends, right? Be with somebody. And that's kind of what I'm getting at, because one of the things I'm thankful for is I'm thankful for all my family. I'm thankful for all my friends. That's what's important to me, and I'll tell you why. And I was thinking about this today, and I had a short conversation with my son about it, and so I was going to mention it. But the thing about being with other people, I think that's down the core of everything. I think we're kind of built for that. We're not built to be alone. I don't think the man was intended to exist alone in the universe, to be by himself, to have no one else around. We're built for that too. Anyway, we have the eyes, we have ears, we have the sense of touch, we have the sense of we have our mouths, we have the sense of communication, and I think all of that is really part of our design, our intention to interact with other people, to interact with each other, and not to be alone. I mean, let's face it. If we were just alone in the universe, alone, if you were just a solitary person with no contact with anybody, why would you need eyes, ears, a mouth, a nose, a sense of touch, any of those senses? Why would you need a body at all? You would just exist by yourself on your own, and with no contact or external. You'd be just self-aware, but not aware of anything else around you, or anything else outside of you, anyone else outside around you. They've done a lot of scientific studies about how just the sense of touch is a very, very powerful healing and emotional support thing for people. It's just, you have the sense of touch. I was reading something sometime back where they said that, if you're hugging your spouse or significant other for more than 20 seconds, there's something very, very therapeutic, very, very comforting about that, and that it has a very, very powerful bonding effect. And it does. If you're, and I don't think it's just for humans too. It's like for animals. Our dog likes to be cuddled sometimes. He'll come up and he'll look for a cuddle, a hug, a scratch behind the ear or something like that. He wants that reassurance. He wants that, and he doesn't like to be alone either. If I leave the room, or if my son leaves the room, he'll follow us in. He wants to be there next to us. He wants to be beside us. I don't think that living beings, really any living beings, are wired to just be solitary beings. They're wired to be to need that companionship, and not just companionship, but to be part of something, to be liked, to be loved, to be cared about, and to care for other people. I think it's in our nature. It's part of us. It's in our DNA to be a part of something. Look at all these people that join groups and clubs and things like, even like for instance in this wine stream, people that want to be part of something, because you want to be a part of that collective. You don't want to be just by yourself. Nobody likes to be. I don't think even people that say they like to be alone or loners, I don't think that deep down inside that they really are wired to want to be alone. Some people choose to be alone for various reasons, and but I don't think inherently as a species or as sentient beings or as beings period are really wired for that, or really intent to be alone. And I think that's one reason why, and that's what I'm getting at, because I was thinking how lonely it would be if you were the only person in the universe, if there was no one else in the universe, if you were the only being in the universe. That's incredible loneliness, in my opinion. I could not imagine that. I mean, what is life? But to experience life, that's part of life. You might as well not be alive if you're going to be just a solitary being with nothing around you and no one around you to experience it with, or to share it with, or to interact with at all. And that's not really existence, in my opinion. So I think we all need that. And I think coming around full circle, I know it sounds like it's my stream of consciousness talking, but I really had a point to make here. Going full circle, to me, that is why Thanksgiving Day is important to me, because ever since I was a kid, that was it was time for family and friends to get together, for relatives to get together, and just to interact with each other and have a good meal together and to enjoy each other's company. I think that it's not just something that's nice. I think it's something that's important to us. I think that Thanksgiving is a very, very important holiday to help keep us grounded with each other, to help keep things in perspective, to help keep life in perspective. I think it's very, very important to have Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving, that sort of thing. So that's why that holiday means it's not just about eating. Of course, yeah, I like to eat. It's great to have the feast and the turkey and all that kind of stuff, and I'm looking forward to that. But more than anything else, I'm looking forward to just being around people, not just being by yourself. So, look, if you're not, and this is what I'm getting at, if you don't have other people to be with for Thanksgiving, make it a Friendsgiving, and make a point to find other people to be with. Look around for other people that need the same thing, and have one with them. If you can have a chance to volunteer for an event or a Thanksgiving dinner kind of thing where you've got people there that have nowhere else to go, that have no one. If you can invite someone over, maybe someone new to the community, someone new to the neighborhood, someone who doesn't have anyone else to be with for Thanksgiving, invite them into your home and let them be a part of it too, of yours. And it's not good for people to be alone, especially on that holiday. And I didn't mean to go on a big rant on that, but that's why that holiday is important to me. I love Thanksgiving. It's my favorite holiday. And the wine stream. This is what Drink with Rick is about, bringing people together, enjoying wine together, enjoying stories together, interacting with each other together. I think that's very, very important. Anyway, I went on the rant. Let's go back to the chat here for just a minute because I want to know what you're doing. I want to know what you're saying. Let's see. We'll go back down here because it. Let's see. Chi says, "Yay, Rick is nice tonight. Let's all go shopping on National Shopping Day and use Rick's credit card." Yeah. I ditched all my credit cards. So, Robert says, "Red or white with turkey?" Good question, Robert. Let me check because I heard something here going on in Valley Hound says. Let me go back up here. There we go. It says, "Hey, Robert and Lon, besties with testes." He says, "Hook me up with a T-shirt. Do you have tank tops?" I'm sorry, I do not have tank tops at this time, but it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Double X small hypercolor if you have any. Hypercolor. I'm thankful for Wine Store's amazing selection of super low prices coupled with exceptional service. Thanks, Matt. I'll agree with that. The Wine Store, winestar-online.com, and once again, I'm not being paid to promote them, but I do like the Wine Store. The people there are great, and I really appreciate their helpfulness. And the stores are nice and clean. I've been to stores where they're not all that clean. They're not all that bright and welcoming. And I'm not going to mention any names, but I have been to a few stores like that. But when you go into a wine store, it's just the place is so clean, so neat, well organized. The people there are friendly. It's easy to find the wines, and if you can't find it, they're very, very quick to help you out with it. And they know you by name. It's sort of like Cheers. You go in, and after the first time you're in there, they know your name. And I think that's really, really cool. They go the extra mile on that. Here's a wine store, by the way. I like that. So I went over on Thanksgiving here, But I wanted to do this really, really quick before I forgot. I want to do my book review because I did promise I'd do a quick book review. My friend Sean Yester wrote a book earlier this year called Crushing Debt, and it's called 9 Strategies to Eliminate Financial Bullies. This in this book, I read the book, and I'm going to do a really quick review, and I'm not going to spend too much time because I promised I would. Otherwise, she's going to be shopping around to trade me in for another model. So I've got to keep this on time tonight. But the Crushing Debt book by Sean. Sean is an attorney. He is a financial law attorney, and he specializes in debt relief. And Crushing Debt, 9 Strategies to Eliminate Financial Bullies. I like the cover, by the way. It's a pretty cool cover. And he uses that on his podcast. He has a podcast also on the same title called Crushing Debt. And every week he interviews someone related to various topics on debt relief and how to manage debt and how to get out of debt trouble. And I'll just go through some of the chapters here. He's got 9 chapters in the book, and starting from chapter 1, debt settlement, and of course dealing with zombie debt. And if you don't know what zombie debt is like debts like old debts that you thought have been long forgotten, and then all of a sudden they pop up, and you've got like third-party debt collectors calling you over a debt that you probably paid off years ago, or was forgiven years ago, and then all of a sudden they come back to go after you on that again. Chapter 3, keeping your call log, which is an important tip, and he goes to chapter 4, talking about foreclosure, hope foreclosure, property foreclosure. Chapter 5, loan modifications, which I think is a very interesting. I think if you're considering a loan modification, I think you really need to read this chapter first. Chapter 6, short sales. I've got a thought on that in just a moment. Chapter 7, bankruptcy. Chapter 8, student loans. And Chapter 9, IRS, which is a chapter in and of itself. I'll tell you what, reading that chapter, it kind of... I've always been good with the IRS, but reading that chapter made me think twice as like, okay, did I never miss anything? Because there are a lot of fears about... the debt in general, but about dealing with the IRS and things like student loans. If you have a lot of debt racked up in student loans, he goes over how to deal with that sort of thing. And yeah, bullies exist everywhere. And I've told you about my bully story when I was a kid, how I was bullied a lot. But Sean also, he tells his story in here, how he was bullied when he was a kid. And it's not pretty. It's definitely not pretty. But the book, I read the book, and I'll tell you what, when you look at the book, the pages, it looks like, okay, it's not that much to read, but it really is. There's a lot. It's chock full of information here. He uses some personal anecdotes. He has some stories in here, names changed to protect the innocent kind of thing. Stories about, he doesn't get too specific about people's situations, financial situations, but he talks in generalities about some issues that he's had to deal with in helping people, fix their debt issues legally. And it's a good book. Even if you don't have any debt at the moment, I'll tell you what. In fact, I told my son Tommy, who is going to college right now, is about to. He's finishing up his second year of college on a scholarship, but he's about to go into his. He wants to get his bachelor's, and he's getting ready, preparing to go off to college for that. I told him to read chapter 8 because. Chapter 8, I said if you just read one chapter, read this one, and I think people should, before they start going to college, I think this is a good book to read before they actually consider taking out student loans, because I think there's some good preventative medicine in here in this book, some good common sense stuff, but some preventative medicine read to read to find out about what you're up against debt-wise when you take out student loans. The chapter I mentioned earlier, the chapter on foreclosure, I wish I had read that chapter some years ago before I bought a second home. And that's it's good stuff. I'm not going to go into particulars about that, but I'm just saying that I recommend this book. Even if you're really not currently in debt, I think there's a lot of good common sense in here. If you know someone, I think we all know someone who is struggling with debt. I think this is a pretty good book to read. So I would say it's $19.95 on Amazon. I have a link to it at drinkwithrick.com if you want to purchase it from there through there. That's fine. But you don't have to. But it's $19.95 on Amazon, right on in book format. But good job, Sean. He's a smart guy. It's proven in this book that he knows what he's talking about. He's a pretty smart guy. He's been doing it for a couple of decades. I think here's to Sean and his book, Crushing Debt. I think it's definitely worth a read. $19.95, I think is a very good investment, especially if you're struggling with debt. I think it's a good investment, helping you to get out of it. Thank you, Sean. Good read, by the way. And that's Crushing Debt. Anyway, I wanted to want to go ahead and end early here because I promised my wife I would. Not really early. Is anybody still watching? But I'm going to have a little more of this pie as well. And in the meantime, I want to say that we will be open after Thanksgiving holiday. Yes, I'm going to be doing the wine stream the weekend after Thanksgiving. This will be next weekend. And looking forward to doing that. We're going to open up something really nice for the Thanksgiving holiday. That I think it'll be a lot of fun. We'll swap some stories and things like that. Robert says red or white with turkey, and Robert, I want to say that it depends. You know, you can go with a Pinot Noir like we opened last week. Would go pretty good with smoked turkey. It depends on your turkey too. You know, some people like fried turkeys, and some people like just a regular, roasted turkey. We're planning on having a smoked turkey. My wife and I, it's kind of tradition for us. We generally go to Honey Baked Ham and get a frozen smoked turkey that's this smoked that we'll cook up, that we'll heat up. And I love smoked turkey, but that's what we're planning to do. And for smoked turkey, you can use a red or a white. This Zinfandel might go okay with a smoked turkey, but I think it would go probably better with a Pinot, the Pinot Noir that we had. I think that would go fine with smoked turkey. In general, though, if you're going to be roasting a turkey, you probably might want to look at the whites, some of the white wines. And it just kind of depends on the type of turkey you're going to have. If it's a fried turkey, to be honest, I've never had a fried turkey, so I can't fairly pair that up with anything because I've never had one. I've heard they're great. I've heard you don't want to fry one yourself unless you know what you're doing, which is why I never fried one myself. But I saw a video. I think it was with William Shatner one time. William Shatner did a YouTube video, I think, where he showed how not to fry a turkey or something. I thought that was pretty entertaining. Anyway, I think it depends on how that turkey's prepared a little bit, because I think you're going to have to choose a wine based a little bit on the bird, but I think a lot on how the bird is prepared. I think it's going to depend somewhat on that. Fried foods in general, you want to have something that's going to complement it, at the same time kind of offset that a little bit, the fried food factor. So I would say if you're just going to have, like we're going to have the smoked turkey, is I think we've got another bottle of this Pinot that I bought. What was it? It was the Chazot. I bought the Chazot debut shot that we reviewed last week. And you go back and watch the wine stream to check that out. But I like that. It paired well with a few foods that we tried here. And particularly, I think I think I had it with the smoked cheddar. I think I liked it with that. But I think it'll go really good with the smoked turkey that we're going to have. So I bought a bottle of that. I might go back to a wine store and pick up a second bottle just to be sure that we have enough for because we're having a few people over. But I don't know. Some of them don't drink wine, but those who do, I got a bottle of that. I've got a couple of bottles I've got a few bottles of wine in there that will fit the turkey. Just in case, I might go pick up a second bottle of that, and just to make sure I have enough there for those who do drink wine. But Thanksgiving. What are you guys going to do on Thanksgiving? What are you doing on Thanksgiving? Like I said, we're having a few friends over here, and try to have some people over that generally necessarily might not be able to make it to their families or friends for Thanksgiving, and have just spend some time with them, some friends that we haven't seen for a while, and I don't know what everyone else's plans are. I know that we have I know people who are doing the Friendsgiving thing with friends, but let me know, and I hope that you all have a great Thanksgiving. And Valley Hound says, happy Thanksgiving, Rick. Happy Thanksgiving, Valley Hounds. Back to you. I appreciate that. And I hope everyone has a safe Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is one of those times when you also want to be careful and you're out driving around, especially if you're traveling around, you're visiting friends, family. You want to make sure that if you don't want to overdo it. Don't overdo it with the food for sure, but don't overdo it with the wine or whatever else you're drinking. And look, if you're hopefully you're staying there for the evening, that's fine. But if you're going to be traveling back home afterwards, just be careful and check yourself, on what you're drinking and how much you're drinking of it, I should say, because we want everybody to be safe. I want you to be safe most of all. So just have a happy Thanksgiving, but have a safe Thanksgiving, and just moderation. Moderation. Don't overdo it, and you should be fine. But in case we're going to be doing it next week after Thanksgiving. We'll have the post-Thanksgiving show, and maybe we can all get together and talk about our Thanksgivings. But I hope to see all of you there. Anyway, I want to say thank you to, let me go through the list here. Nobody in Twitch, I guess, or in Periscope or Twitter. But thanks, Tommy, for joining me, at least on Twitter. And thanks to Valley House, who's keeping things very active on YouTube, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that, that you were there. I want to say thank you to... I hope Phil's still with us. I hope he's still stuck around. It's okay if you already fell asleep. It's all right. I probably would have too by now. But I appreciate it. If you're still there, Phil, thanks a lot for joining me. I want to say thanks to Lon for joining me. And Penny, if you're still with me, I know that it's probably getting late for you. And Tom, but thanks to you for joining me tonight. And Todd, thanks for being there, for joining me, Todd Hughes. And I said thanks to Phil, yes. And Tim, thank you for joining me as well. Betsy, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You were quiet, but thanks for checking in on the chat, and also thanks for watching the show. And my lovely wife Chi, who always has something to say to me, and probably have a lot more to say to me after the show. Hopefully, it's all good. But, of course, I want to say thanks to Carol Ann. And Carol Ann, you know what? I am going to send you a T-shirt. I want to say once again, thanks for catching me on that. I did miss that, by the way. It was an honest mistake. I missed that on the chat. It was scrolling up too fast. That was, but thank you, and I'll send you a T-shirt as well, and a pair of of these things. The coasters, they're good. They're nice coasters. And Robert, thanks for joining me. I want to say thank you for being here in the chat with me tonight, and I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks to everyone for joining me, and once again, have a safe Thanksgiving and have a happy one. And join me again this next week. So, don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Keep it cool. So you can all come back here next week and join me for another edition of Saturday Night Wine Stream when we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.